Time to build a deck. I'm going to show you how to go from this
to a magical backyard space with a floating deck that I built without a saw.
Hey, it's me. Welcome back. Today I'm showing you how to build my viral floating deck. This project is beginner friendly. You actually don't need a saw at all. Super easy to do in any spot in your backyard. And I have a hack up my sleeve to show you how to hide the screw holes so there's no visible screws on top. And the whole thing cost only around $400 for a 16 by 8 foot deck. Let's get into it.
Here's the before. We're going to go over this deck step by step in detail, linking along the way. But you also have to know this backyard was weird. We're talking haunted house diagonal from a graveyard with interesting details. But I'll tackle the tiny town another day. The vision for this space is to build a deck that can be a hangout space, add some lights above it, and clear out all the overgrown foliage so we can have some more intentional plants. I decided to build a floating deck because of the pavers. I wouldn't be able to dig holes for the posts. So I thought, hey, pretty flat, I'll build a deck on top. I did kind of lose the plot here for a second and think about saving them, but they were just too damaged and I didn't want to power wash. So I actually saved some of the plants from the backyard to replant because there were some good ones in here, even though most of it was completely overgrown. Then I got to work on the horrible homemade rack. But first,
Okay, what's the consensus? Does this guy get to stay?
his fate will be decided at the end of the video. Okay, so this rack, thank goodness it was not cemented into the ground, although I did have to fight roots, and then I unearthed a giant log. Like seriously, look at this thing. It was like a strongman competition to try to get it out of the yard. This thing was so freaking heavy. Fun fact, my house is not only 200 years old, diagonal from a graveyard. There's also a canoe launch nearby, which ironically I found out this rack was for canoes. I now own kayaks and had to buy a rack, so in retrospect, I maybe should have kept it, but yeah, let's get it out of here. Then I saw which roots were still attached that I needed to still pull out. Then I leveled out all of the dirt. It's a really good idea to use a tamper like this and tamp it in place and pack it down to make sure everything is level. So half a day of work, that's where we started. Here's where we're at.
And now I'm going to put some like landscape fabric down, and then I'm going to build just right on top of that.
This is optional. I know you guys have strong feelings about landscape fabric. It's worked for me so far, so I'm using it.
Okay, here's what you need for this project. So you need deck boards that are 8 foot long. They come with these pre-finished curved edges, and they are pressure treated, which means they last a lot longer and they're more resistant to water. There is a hack for these when it comes to painting, which we'll get into later. The second thing I used was 2 by 8 boards. Also pressure treated. These are all pine, and you need 8 of those.
So I have this U-Haul van because I was in the middle of moving, but now I've realized I really need a van.
You also might want some pavers, just 12 by 12 concrete blocks. These do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to help you get it more level. And number 2, by having the wood rest off the ground and on the block, your deck's going to last a lot longer. The last thing you need are deck screws and my top secret tool that I will tell you about in a little bit.
You will also need some framing nails, and I will get to that in a second. So here I am laying out the 2 by 8 boards, basically in 2 boxes side by side. I came up with this whole design so that you don't have to use a saw, so you're welcome. So this is what it looks like laid out. Next, I have the 2 middle boards just stacked on top of each other, and I'm screwing them together with some deck screws. Now I'm attaching those 2 boards to the front boards on each side. I used corner braces and screws. It is way better to use nails for this because they're stronger, but basically this is what it looks like on the front and the back. So that's where the 2 boxes attach. Time to meet my new best friend.
Do we think this is a real frog? He has not moved or blinked for like 10 minutes, and I cannot figure it out. If he's a statue that looks real.
More on that later. Next, I'm using joist hangers to attach all of the center boards. I use screws, but you really want to use nails here for more durability, and you guys came for me on this spacing. I did 24 inches, 16 inches is better, so you can add a couple extra boards if you want to, but I'm happy to report it's been 3 years and it's still holding up perfectly fine. And if we fall, we're only gonna fall 6 inches, so it's gonna be okay. Okay, time to add the deck boards.
Okay, who's ready for my top secret tool?
Okay, the frame is built and now I'm putting on the deck boards. I'm actually using this really cool thing I found. It's like attaches to your drill and it puts all the deck screws in like hidden. I'll show you up close. Okay, you just like load the screw in here, put it against this, like that. So it helps you get the deck screws in on the side at an angle so that they're all hidden and there's no like screw holes on the top.
To answer your questions, yes, you need special screws. Yes, you can get to both sides of the board. Yes, you can remove them and pick dry boards that are straight and they won't twist. This tool is so easy to use. You just drive a screw wherever there's a floorboard on the bottom, and you can still access them later if you need to change out a board because one breaks or rots. This part goes so fast, so it really is a one-day deck.
Here's what you need to know about pressure-treated wood. Basically, it's a chemical solution that they soak the wood in and then they pressurize it. So it's going to force the solution into all the parts of the wood where a tree would normally be sucking up water. Now, all of those channels are filled with this treatment. So what this is going to do is make your wood more water resistant and more durable. Now, if you see GC, that means ground contact. So this wood is rated to be touching or in contact with the ground. The really important thing to know about pressure-treated wood is that you need to let it dry before you stain or paint. Most paints and sealants made for decks are locking out moisture, but that also means they can lock in moisture if your wood isn't fully dried out. So that will lead to your boards rotting from the inside out. How to know if your boards are dry? Number one, you'll notice when you pick it up in store, some of the boards are a little more brown and some are really, really green and also heavier. Those boards are still wet and you're going to need to wait longer before painting them. Fully dry boards, you won't really see much green anymore. They'll be more brown and you usually have to wait about 2 months, maybe longer, depending on your area. But if you leave it out baking in the summer heat, they should dry out pretty fast.
The deck is finished. Look how amazing that looks. I'm so excited.
Time for paint. I'll show you the color in a second, but I know what you really want to know.
It is definitely real. Look how big it is. It moved.
Here's a few more shots of the deck put together. Just a reminder, I didn't use a saw, so that's pretty cool.
Now I'm gonna paint this fence to freshen it up and then paint the deck. I think black, which is like totally not something I ever do, but it feels right for this space. I think it's gonna like ground everything and help like the beige and cream pop. So we're gonna go with that and see how it works. I got a sprayer for the fence and then I'm just gonna roll some deck paint on there. So let's get painting.
This is me preparing to make the worst mistake of my life. Here's your hint. Yeah, I really thought this fence needed to look like bright, more new wood, so I picked a wood color. That is the worst paint color I have ever used in my life, for obvious reasons. So I moved on to try to get a quick win, and this is me painting the deck black, which I don't like this color. I should have painted it cedar, which is the color I used on the stairs. It's just way more earthy, but I do love this paint.
My very favorite stain for decks is Behr's semi-transparent stain. It puts a really beautiful color on, but it still lets a lot of the natural grain show through, so it doesn't just look painted. My current favorite color is chestnut that I've been using on all of my outdoor projects, but this one I built a while ago, so I used a different color, which I will add here.
Okay, this color isn't bad. It was great for a modern vibe. It honestly just gets really dirty really easily and shows like a lot of dirt, so that's why we don't like it, but it ended up looking really good with the fence color, which you'll see next, but also you can tint this custom, so it can be any shade you want.
You know that I can see you, right? I know you're there.
Ah, so much better. This is a creamy shade, even better beige, and I actually used Behr's DECOR paint, which is made for worn wood, so this totally was the refresh we wanted.
You know I can still see you there, too.
Also, her name is Hecate, so. Time for some finishing touches so you can see this reveal. So basically, I added 2x2 posts to each fence post to tie the lights onto, and then I added some pavers and some white marble chips all around. I just love the look of gravel in the yard. So this is what we're looking like. Now we need some furniture. Everything's from Home Depot and as always linked in the description. And now.
Okay guys.
and Hecate.
It's done.
Just a reminder that this is where we started and this is the after.
Excuse me, if you're gonna be here, can you please take care of this situation?
Oh, also, he didn't make it, so.
Thanks for watching. If you like this project, hit that subscribe button so that you can stay in the loop for more projects just like this, or follow along while we figure it out together. And as always, now go make something.
Now I found the flow.